I'm writing a paper about concussions for my biology class. I'm going to start just by going to Google, not doing any scholarly search first just to see what might be current um, or relevant right now, information that I don't currently know about concussions in the NFL. I see that there are a lot of separate websites that say NFL concussion litigation, NFL concussion settlement, reports from NFL, the CDC. I see one posted recently by the Huffington Post that seems to be usually reliable. I'm going to read what this says. Okay, this just turned out to be a large collection of articles. I'm going to go back. Go to the cdc.gov. This looks like a pretty good place for information on facts and symptoms, but doesn't have any detail. Okay, I'm gonna try to do. I'm now gonna go to Google Scholar to see if I can't find something a little more academic. Let's see if I can. There we go. Alright, searching for concussion NFL in Google Scholar just to see if anything this broad will come up at first. Okay, I see an article that says concussion in professional football, biomechanics of the struck player. This sounds like it might be a pretty good article to read for a biology class as far as the mechanics of why. Okay, this takes me to a scientific journal site. Okay. Well, this is not a free article. The abstract might give some slight information, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this because I'm not going to pay for this article. I see another article that says concussion in professional football, morphology of brain injuries. Click on that. Once again, the same website. I'm going to see if I can. I'm gonna narrow my search window down to concussion NFL, and I'm gonna include the keyword brain to try to turn my search into specifically brain injuries from concussions. Okay, I see a link that instantly comes up right now that says I can find a few of these at Georgia Southern, so that might be something good that I could go get. I could use here. I'm going to see if any of these might work for me. This first one looks like it might be pretty good. Concussion in professional football, summary of the research conducted. Okay, this looks like it might be pretty good. It says read article at publisher's site. Okay, it takes me to the Journal of Neurosurgery. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this article. This looks pretty good. Looks like it has a lot of information, and it's coming from, it's a summary of the NFL, the National Football League's own committee on mild traumatic brain injury. So I might look at what the NFL had to say, or what their doctors came from, or came up with. I think this article might be fairly long, or it's taking a long time to load. Quickly scan this article. I'm seeing that this article covers a lot of different things right at first, showing the biomechanical testing, impact velocity, a lot of different tests on these. I'm going to quickly scroll to see if there's any sort of, okay, they have post-concussion syndromes. See if there's any sort of, okay, charts and data. Okay, this article is 9 pages long. It looks to be really full of good information I could use in my report. Um, it would take me a little while longer than I have to sort through all this information, but I definitely want to keep this source. Okay, so I would probably, um, I could just bookmark this page for the moment if I wanted to save it. Or I'd probably just go back to Google. You can save them somewhere. I would focus a lot of my research on this pamphlet or information report on the post-concussion syndromes. Most of the medical aspect, the biological aspect of what's happening after concussions and during concussions more than the physics of what's going on during a hard collision that would cause a concussion. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of statistics up here. This might be good to look at. A lot of information to try to sift through.
I am writing a paper on careers in nursing for a class in English. The first place I look is Google because it's more readily available to me. Um, since my topic is careers in nursing, the first thing I will search is careers in nursing. The um, I'm choosing this link because the ending to the website title is .org. So, assuming that this is credible, um, okay. This website provides a lot of great information on salaries, and I will save this source because it's credible. The next place I will go is bidme.org to cite this source in MLA format because it makes it a lot easier and faster for me to cite sources. Copy and paste the website title into the bibliography generator and search. Creating the citation now. Coming here to a Word document, I'm going to insert a blank page for a works cited, centering this. Copying and pasting it into the works cited page. The next place that I will look is, well, going back to the first website that I went to, what piqued my interest was the highest paid nursing career, which is nurse anesthesiast. copying and pasting that into Google, also searching Google. Okay. I'm clicking this link because it is also from the same website that I just came from. So, this is what my paper will be on. I keep up with the information I locate by um, submitting it to the works cited page that I have on my work Word document here. So I'm going to save this as well by using bit.me. Creating the citation, copy and pasting this also to the works cited page that I have. I am saving this source because it provides a lot of great information on nursing, anesthetics, um, a lot of great information. I am changing my search terms um, to what college courses are required to become a nurse anesthetist. Looking down the search list. Clicking on allnursingschools.com because this is a very broad website that may include um, many different schools. I'm now going to change my search terms to salaries of nurse anesthet anesthetist anesthetist. Um, Clicking on the Bureau of Labor Statistics because this is a government website. Okay.
All right. I am writing a paper on the history of computer vulnerabilities for a networking security class in information technology. So I'm going to open up browser. Firefox is my choice because it is my favorite browser. Immediately I go to the Google search bar. Well, let's make sure it's on Google first. It's not, so I'm going to change it to Google. In the browser settings, I'm making it my default browser so that I can use mostly this search engine for my results. Um, Google is generally the first place I look for any information because it gives a very large pool of information to grab from. So I'll just start. I'll start with just a phrase. I'm clicking a different phrase that Google is suggesting for me, possibly for better results. I'm going to also open up a new window and a text box so that I can keep track of any links or search results that I go for. Now, in the search results, I see a bunch of credible websites. I see a bunch of corporation websites, Wikipedia. I'm going to click on this Wikipedia first because it'll give me a very large directory of links that I can click to get information on things that I don't even know the name of. Now, the search terms that I'll use to conduct the research, I will draw from this website. So if I'm ever unaware of what word I'm looking for this is a technical thing, so I have to find the correct wording to use to be able to find what I'm looking for. So there's a complex list here, and obviously this would take a lot of time to go through each one, but if the research called for it, I do have a large pool of information here just from this website. Doing another Google search in the browser at the top, just for ease of access. Now, when I search computer vulnerabilities, Google gives me the standard definition of what a computer vulnerability is, but that's not enough. That's just one string. So what I'm going to try to do is combine two phrases using quotes so that when Google conducts the search, I can find one phrase that has another phrase included somewhere in the article or website. So computer vulnerabilities plus history. Do a search on that. I get several government and military websites and some education websites. Now, I do see some ads here, so I'm never going to click on websites that are indicated as ads because those do not have credible information. It is an assumption that they do not have credible information, but I'm going to limit myself in my sources. So I'm going to take a look at this comprehensive database of computer vulnerabilities. And this is a government website. Now, the link I clicked on has sort of left me at a dead end because it's simply a summary of information. It is a credible website because at the bottom there are numerous links to government policies and things like that. Um, just to make sure, I scroll my mouse over any contact emails or anything like that. So if the contact email is of a government agency as well, then the website is probably credible. However, this doesn't necessarily help me in my goal of finding information because all this is a summary. So I'm going to click this link at the end of this paragraph to see where it takes me. It takes me to the National Vulnerability Database, which is a very credible source. I am familiar with this website. Um, it says it's an agency of the U.S. Department of Commerce, which is a little bit surprising. I would think it would be in a Department of Defense or something, but I can see a ton of different information to pull from. Vulnerabilities. I'll click on that. Also, I'm going to open the About tab, about the page, in a separate tab. So what this website is used for is the automation of vulnerability management. So it sets up a system for people to automatically upload any possible computer vulnerabilities. Now, this has not always been around. So this is not a complete list of any vulnerabilities that go back probably past since the inception of this website. Um, Now, to find out how far back this website actually goes, I would have to find out when this website was actually created. So I would do another Google search. And I'll include the string date of creation. And the top result brings me to a separate part of their website where it lists information about the inception of this organization. So this organization has been around since computers have been around. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that this website has vulnerabilities dating back 40 or 50 years. So I'll do a search on the website and see how far back that takes me. It is a blank search, but it is taking a long time to load. So while that's loading, I'll go back to the Wikipedia category of computer security exploits, which has all these various attacks. But it doesn't show them by date. So I'm going to do another Google search with separate strings and quotes. two separate strings, earliest computer plus hacking techniques, and see if that comes up with anything. Now, the information from this result is not as good as I would like, so I'm going to go to the search tools in Google and perhaps change the range of time to gather from the past year. Now, as I scroll and look through this page again, I'm not finding very good, credible sources specifically on the topic that I'm looking for. There is one credible source from Lockheed Martin, which is a defense contractor. I do have to make sure this is 100% credible. There's an author, the date it was posted, check the information about the Lockheed website. They have things concerning W-2 forms, so it sounds like this is an authenticated website in some manner. Now, this article could be useful actually, because it's a web article written by someone else, published on Lockheed Martin's blog, but it talks about a type of attack that's been around for a long time. It even says in the article that this is one of the original types of hacks, and that it's still a big problem today because the only thing that has to happen is a programmer has to make bad code for this to be able to happen. And coding has been around for a very long time. So that might be near the beginning. Also, what might help me is searching for the earliest models of computer. So, going to go through this, and Google is helpful, and it provides me lots of different types of questions that are related to this question. So I'll go ahead and expand those and see if those are relevant. I'm actually going to go back here and go back to this Lockheed website and copy down this link for further use at a later date. Paste that in. So far, I've only found one source that's credible, and I'm not going to list the Wikipedia category list in my list of sources because I'd prefer to use a source from an article on Wikipedia instead of just listing Wikipedia itself. Um, Now, I'm aware of a thing called phreaking, so I'm going to search that. And phreaking is a early slang term for people who break into telecommunication systems, and those are forms of computers. And this was around in the 80s. So just from this search result, I could find 20 plus credible sources. Now, they're not all automatically credible, but the fact that they're linked here, is that it?